I love Garden Warfare 2. I've been playing a lot of games, but also I want to try a new character. Let's just check. Oh my goodness, there's 7 different stock characters. How can I ever decide who to play as? Well, that's where this video comes in. I'm going to be going through every single character in the game, from small ones like Imp all the way to things like Super Brains. If you want one stop shop for every stock character in the game, this is that video. First up, we have the Imp. The Imp is a small character, only very small in fact, and has 75 health. The Imp is a very strong zombie, as most of the time, players prioritize taking on other stronger zombies rather than the Imp. His first ability is the Gravity Grenade, which creates a field of less gravity, and all the plants get stuck out the top of it. The second is Impkata, where using a secret martial art technique, he spins around with 2 guns and just does this. Unless you're fighting the weeds, I guarantee you're gonna be finding way more use out of Gravity Grenade than Impkata, as Impkata is really weak. But as you just saw, it actually has a third ability, where he summons the Z-Mech. The Z-Mech's different for every variant, but because I'm only covering stock variants for now, we're going over the stock Z-Mech. Its first ability is this, where he just shoots out a bunch of lasers, which deal 20 to 10 damage. And his second ability is just a straight stomp. But then he has another ability, a secret ability. If you click 2 twice, you jump out, and yeah, your mech explodes, dealing 150 damage to every single zombie caught in the explosion. Sometimes a bit less for the last one, but I'm pretty sure that's just how damage spreading works in this game. So, the Imp in specific, base Imp, is not bad. In fact, he's actually quite good. But he does have one glaring problem, and that's his health. 75 health, as you just saw, is not good, as it essentially means you're gonna be killed by basically anything. For reference, you can be killed by Ultra Tackle. In case you don't know, that's another that would be a problem if Ultra Tackle wasn't owned by another zombie, but we'll get into that later. It's the point is just basically everything can kill an imp within a couple seconds. But the imp is a lot more than you probably think, as he also has a pretty fast movement speed, allowing him to get away from things. And with his butt boosters, he can fly in the air, making him a bit harder of a target, especially for things like spray chompers. And he can strafe. But basically anything can kill an imp in a couple seconds. Not to say he isn't incredibly good though. So specifically for the imp, in my incredible tier list, I'm gonna be putting Reg Imp in B tier. He isn't a bad character by any means. In fact, he's really good. It's just he's really easy to be KO'd. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Please don't copyright me. But by the way, this is All Star. He has a essentially minigun that takes a couple seconds to load. But if you uh, do this, it starts loading immediately, effectively cutting down on the time to actually shoot. It has a lot of shots before actually overheating, and his first ability is Imp Punt, where he throws an exploding imp. It's good if you can distance yourself from the zombies, and it might just be my skill issue talking, but it's not in practice. It's not the greatest, at least for getting a lot of zombies. But Imp is one. But All-Star is a tank character, I'd say. He has a lot of health, 210, I think. And his second ability is Sprint Tackle. Yeah, you just rush forward. This is really useful in situations where you're being attacked by a bunch of plants. And it definitely can be used to deal some damage. It was way better in the first game when healing was super scuffed. But, I mean, it's not bad currently. And then he has the last ability, the Dummy Shield. The Dummy Shield spawns in a dummy that, well, acts as a shield. You can just put him in front of you to block a lot of damage from a distance, or you can put him as sort of a quick damage blocker if something like a bean bomb is in front of you. This can be really useful, especially when you're really low on health. The couple of seconds the dummy takes before it actually dies can be life or death in a lot of situations. It's not that hard to basically just use it and camp for a little bit. So the dummy is actually a really good item, and spawn. And as for All-Star in a whole, if anyone disagrees with that, you are wrong. He is an S tier character. I don't play him that much, mostly because I suck with miniguns in every game, but he's really good. His shots dealing a lot of damage and being really quick to fire is good, and while overheating is annoying and the time it takes can be bad, with just focusing your shots, you can easily get past the second part. Not to mention, all of his abilities deal really good damage or are really good tank-wise, which is what he is. So, I don't really see any bad problem with it. Dun 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 dun! I am here with Super Brains, one of my favorite zombie variants, even if he isn't exactly the best one. But he's still really good. He is essentially the zombie's version of Chomper, right? Well, that's what you might think, because I actually didn't find this out, my best friend did. Basically, if you aim by clicking right click, you can use a heroic beam, which doesn't have the best damage, as just one shot does 6 damage head, but that doesn't mean it's bad by any means. And sure, it does overheat really quickly, but that's not really a bad thing. Anyways, if you've never played him, basically his first ability is the Super Ultra Ball. I actually have the upgrade for it. It's not actually that bad if you guys think about it. But Super Ultra Ball kind of just exists as like a shoot 'em up attack just to get some distance. Then you have Turbo Twister. This ability is actually really cool because it gives them this cool effect and it does damage really consistently. So it's honestly a really good one, and this is the main one if you want to get away from someone. Heroic Kick. Literally all you do is just dash forward and kick. So he's definitely good, and his cooldowns aren't actually that long in any case. See, I already have all my moves back. So he's actually a really good character. But where does he rank? Well, let me get back so I don't, get killed by Peach. And let me rank him. In my eyes, I may be wrong about this, but in my eyes, I see him as an A tier character. He by no means is a bad character, but he's also not one of the greatest characters. It's not like he has any big glaring problems or weaknesses, but the main problem I really have with him is the fact that without his abilities, well, really only one ability, and while yes, the cooldowns are low, he doesn't really have any good movement. Sure, you can hold and jump, um, but that's really only useful if you're really desperate. And while sure his heroic beam is good, In my experience of all the multiplayer matches played, whenever I play any Super Brains variant, I always feel like I'm the main target. I don't know if it's the really flashy attacks or the fact that it's just Super Brains, but I just feel like everyone attacks Super Brains. And it certainly doesn't help that this guy is a Chomper variant. It is essentially the Plants vs. version of Chomper, and he still has and even though his weapon isn't half as strong as All Stars, it has the overheat mechanic. I mean the ranged one. So while he is good, especially with 200 health, I feel like he just steals other people's gimmicks and making them worse. So he definitely deserves A tier, but he's still really good. Shotgun. Basically, Scientist is this game's sort of shotgun character, as he does way more damage close range. I mean, sure, one of the most favorite um, variants in the game is a Scientist variant that isn't close range, but Scientist by himself is still really good. So this is his first ability. Well, his just main shot is the Goo Blaster. It is essentially a shotgun, as it doesn't have good range, but does insane damage close up. Like, I'm dealing 70 and 40, which are like crazy. They can, in case, now, obviously, he doesn't have the greatest DPS, especially seeing as how there's a slight buffer period between all of his attacks, but he's not actually that bad. But then you get into his abilities. First things first is his zombie heal station. It's essentially just Sunflower's sunflower plant, where you just summon a zombie heal station. And then you have this smoke bomb. It's a smoke bomb. Well, more of a smoke dash than anything. But yeah, it's just a dash forward. Then you have sticky grenades. I don't actually know the real name. I just call them sticky grenades. They're really hard to hit as their hitbox is really small, but they are insanely strong. I didn't hit them, but I will. But I do sometimes. When you do hit them, even if they're really inaccurate, they're strong. I hate Frost Rose, guys. Alright. Oh my god, Scallywag. Oh wait, no. That's the wrong character. Ah, Frost Rose, my arch nemesis. Bro! Where is the Frost Rose? Alright, I'm just gonna run back to my base. You know what? Every time you get hit! Bro, that's so dumb. Every time you get hit, warp home and all gets reset. That's dumb. Alright. Dude, why do they hit me just as I get warp home? I hate Frost Rose now. Frost Rose is my least favorite character. Change character. Alright. So, Scientist. Don't hate on me, but Scientist by no means is bad whatsoever. It is an incredibly powerful character, and all of its abilities are really strong if they hit. But I feel like he doesn't have the health to justify his shotgun ability. He only has 100 health, which is tied with the weakest plant in the game for, well, 100 health. So it isn't like like this is the worst health in the world, but for his mechanic of being a shotgunner, I'd expect him to have at least a decent amount of health, like enough to survive a couple shots. But he doesn't have that. In fact, I think he might be really easy to KO. The zombie heal station is just not as I mean, it's more convenient, but it's just not as good as just using the bot. the bot. So I really feel like he's just a B tier character. I want to change my character. I want to try a new character. Vine boom sound effect. Who in their right mind plays bass engineer? I'm not discriminating or anything. He's just not that good. If I'm being honest, there's only one thing you guys play him for, and that's that sweet, juicy. I'm not finishing that sentence. My parents are in the room. So no one plays bass engineer. I feel like, but like he's just not one of those characters that gets talked a lot about. But anyways, he isn't bad by any means. It's just he's kind of mid. Basically, his main attack is a concrete launcher that deals a lot of damage and has a lot of slash. Then you have the sonic grenade, which is just the zombie EMP. Just throw down a grenade and it makes everything within the radius get slowed down. Then you have this, which is just like it's just like P turret. Literally, it's just P turret. Except you can be hit while in it. And then this is the jackhammer. It's legit just a fast jackhammer, and it's where the whole glitch comes in. The weird this glitch. This is a really weird glitch. But yeah, it's just not the craziest thing in the world, I feel like. He's honestly pretty mid by my standards. So unless you're like the world's like the whole one of two engineers in the world, I feel like all right, no, cut the voice crack out. I feel like I think I can get away with putting him in C tier. I mean, he's good. He's just not crazy good. If anything, he's probably the most nothing zombie in the game. Like Hovergrowth 3000, at least he's LeBron, and All-Star is just a good character. Plus, things like Super Brain, Imp, Scientist, they all have cool things. For Engineer, there's nothing really that cool or crazy about it. In fact, he's honestly just an annoying character when he shows up, but nothing too crazy. So he goes in, well, C tier. Alright, we got a good character again. This is, what was his name again? Sorry, I don't play this character that much. Captain Deadbeard. He is, in a word, a sniper character. That is 3 words. I know. I am very aware of that. He is, well, a sniper character. You guys know sniper characters? He's like Sniper from TF2, only he's not Australian. He is instead Somalian. So he's a sniper where he's really, but in this game, I guess they couldn't like code in a good sniping mechanic, cuz his sniping mechanic isn't a sniping mechanic. It's more just a really accurate mechanic. It's like Sniper in Roblox Rivals. It's not like he's all that, he doesn't even get any more damage. It's more just he is way more accurate than most other characters in the game. His first ability is, well, Barrel Blast. You go into a barrel, and by clicking left mouse, you can make itself detonate faster, which goes faster, and you create a giant explosion, which deals like a ton of damage. It's good, but it doesn't really give you that much damage reduction, at least as far as I know. So I feel like it's not the greatest thing in the world. I mean, it's not in any way a bad ability. Let me just get that out of the way. It is great. But then also we have the next ability. Parrot Pal. Oh, damn it. So Parrot Pal only has 5 health and has a airstrike he can call in. But like I said, he only has 5 health and has an unreasonably long cooldown. Actually, no, it's very reasonably. The summoning flying characters can be so annoying, especially if you're picking someone. If you're going against someone who knows what they're doing. Then we have Karen and Rodeo. Um, it gives you 6 shots, and once you get rid of all those shots, you're out of ammo. And you're immobile, but also vulnerable when you do this, except you're not really, because, you know, you're in a cannon. So, let me just get rid of these guys real quick. I'm just really inaccurate no matter what, guys. Do not take my gameplay for this guy not being really accurate. He is incredibly accurate, especially with someone who knows what they're doing. I'm just not one of those people. Yay! Alright, let me go in here. And now I'll summon Parrot Pal. Alright. He has 5 health and he has a lot of flight power. You can just kind of stay up here. He can't exactly aim well, but he does a lot of damage. And you also have this ability. Yeah, it just shoots down a lot of them. They deal damage, and they actually explode after a little bit, which is nice. And Parrot Pal has a cooldown, but also flight power, so if you fly around a lot, Parrot Pal... Yeah, I'm gonna stop saying Parrot Pal, but yeah, this is a good character. Where do I rank him? You know what stands for good? Do not say G. I'm putting him in A tier, right under Super Brains. He is not in any way a bad character. In fact, he is really good. It's just like he's just kind of like one of the more obscure characters from this game. But like he's still in every single way a really good character. And another thing that shows this is this guy, Captain Cannon, who's one of a couple, very few, detonation characters, which are characters that essentially have, say, pea shooters, splash, but it has a ton of damage. Detonation characters are really overpowered, and he's just a really good character, all things considered. This is the last character, and is also probably one of the best. And by one of, I mean the best zombie, at least in my eyes. He is Foot Soldier. He has essentially assault rifle, just called the Assault Blaster, with 30 shots. And he is strong. That's all you need to know. He does 6 damage, 7 damage headshot. Again, he is very powerful. And then you have his Stink Grenade. It's a Stink Grenade. Get zombies to walk through it, they take way damage over time. Combine that with the amount of damage you know, just deal. And you can, well, do really well. Then you have the second ability. I don't even know what this is called. Rocket jump. It's a rocket jump. You just jump up. Then we have the last ability, ZPG, baby. It's a RPG that comes out of your back and just throws a giant RPG. It's incredible, especially in situations with a lot of characters in front of you. This can be insanely useful, and at max deals, as you saw, 190 damage. So he is, in a word, good, and is, well, guess what? Let me just get back. Bam. That was fast. Alright. Oh my, wow, I didn't know they could get in here. You're not getting it. Alright. He is, in a word, one of the best characters in the game. And goes in top of S tier. Look, I don't care what you say. He is the best character. He is one of the very, very, very few zombies. Actually, no, that was way too many varies. Like, he's one of the few zombies to not only be good in and of himself, but also have no real bad other characters. Like, sure, there are some that are like worse than all of the other them, but none of them are actually bad in any way. He is incredibly good and can essentially rely on himself and, well, ZPG in a lot of situations, making him one of the best characters in the game. If not the best zombie in the game. And even without, and he's like known this good. He even has a really cool and nice base skin, as he looks like an army character, which is what he is, a soldier. So he is just a really good zombie character, and I'm telling you, if you want to win any zombie mission or um game in like the mystery portal, pick A or stock a foot soldier.